Welcome to the 6th and final episode of the spiciest podcast on earth, Hot and Heavy. As you guys know by now, or you should, my name is Samantha Gibbs, the host of this podcast, and welcome to the final episode. I have something here, spicy ramen bowl. I actually got it for my brother as a birthday present last year, I think, and he likes ramen, but for some reason he never ate this, so I'm putting it to good use today. Anyway, before I get into the details, today's episode, we're going to take one last dive into the book Things Fall Apart, and just do some further analysis about the novel. Alright, so the challenge for today, it's going to be an interesting one. It came to my head in the middle of the night. I woke up and I was like, woo, Eureka! And then I had this wonderful idea. Why not make a spicy stew?
Yum.
Okay, so I've got my ramen here, and throughout various periods of this video, I'm going to start adding some ingredients to it.
Wow.
So prepare yourselves. Okay, first things first. Of all the things I've covered so far, I haven't introduced the types of conflict in Things Fall Apart. In the book, there are two types, external and internal. They both carry a great weight on Okonkwo and influence his actions throughout the novel. For the main external conflict in Things Fall Apart, it's definitely the European intrusion on the tribe. Colonialism brings a huge opposition for the tribe since it disrupts their established society and implements completely new ideas and beliefs. While colonialism causes the tribe to fall apart and abandon their traditions, it also influences Okonkwo to make rash and violent decisions. Okonkwo is a character who highly values stability and tradition. When the Christian missionaries appear in his village and begin to enforce their laws and religion, he is enraged. Okonkwo makes a point to be as resistive as he can towards the Europeans and eventually ends up captured and placed in prison.
No.
The harsh treatment he receives and the embarrassment he feels drives him to eventually commit suicide as a final act of defiance. This action signifies a great change in his character because Igbo culture regards suicide as a sin. This is shown by the quote in chapter 5. That was one of the greatest men in Umuofia. You drove him to kill himself, and now he'll be buried like a dog. That was Okonkwo's friend, confronting one of the Christian people. But anyway, Okonkwo gives up his value of honor and tradition to combat the Christians one last time. Alright guys, let's make this stew. I haven't tried this yet. Maybe I should. Oh! I just heated this up in the microwave, so I think it's a little hot. Okay. That wasn't spicy. Okay, so we need to spice this up for sure. I don't even know if this is spicy. It's like Tajin seasoning. So I'm gonna add that and see what happens. But if that doesn't work, I'm gonna add something else. Ah! Oh my god, that's like limey. Ew, why is it sour? Oh, okay, I gotta change that. Lovely jalapeno slices here. Straight from Harris Teeter. Let's maybe put some sauce in it. Ooh, wow. Delicious and nutritious. Okay, that should be good. Ooh, okay. I feel that. Okay, I'm getting the burning sensation. It's coming. As for internal conflicts, the primary one throughout the novel is Okonkwo's determination to be different from his father. As you can probably, I think I discussed this in the 3rd episode, but he regards his father as weak and lazy because he grew up poor, and his father didn't really do anything for him. And then that drives him to constantly strive to assert his own power and masculinity. The focus on status greatly affects his relationships with others. He is completely strict and emotionless towards his family. He hits his children and his wives.
No.
And never bothers to connect with them on a personal level.
Aww.
He even murders Ikemufia, a boy he considers a son, just to prove his strength. His relationships with his fellow clansmen are also tarnished. This is apparent in the quote, "Afraid? I do not care what he does to you. I despise him and those who listen to him. I shall fight alone if I choose." And that was on page 173. Okonkwo's tribemates are hesitant to enact violence against the Christians. Okonkwo disagrees with this and states that he has no concern for his tribemates and will go to war by himself if necessary. His
Foolish.
fear of being submissive causes him to distance himself from his people and showcases how rash he has become. Okonkwo's drive towards success can be symbolized by the yams he grows. Yams in the Igbo society are a primary indicator of wealth and power. Okonkwo harvests as much as he can, symbolizing his determination to be as impressive as possible. Time for a little more yumminess. I've got this Hot Ones hot sauce right here that I bought today. Let's try this. Like that's okay. Ooh. Oh goodness. Yes.
Bring on the pain.
Yeah. It's not bad, honestly. Like, I'm enhancing it. It should be made this way. They gotta take some tips. When regarding themes of things fall apart, I'd say the overall theme is the struggle between change and tradition. Okonkwo reflects this multiple times. The first, as I've already mentioned, is his suicide. His tribe considers suicide a dishonorable act. Okonkwo discards his pride and value of following tradition by killing himself because he can't stand the change that is occurring in his tribe. And the second is when Okonkwo disowns his own son, Noi. Family is highly important to the Igbo culture, but Okonkwo disregards this because of Noi's conversion to Christianity. The final reflection of the theme is when Okonkwo advocates for his people to destroy the Christian church. The church is built in what the Igbo people consider the evil forest, which tribe members are to stay away from. He is directly opposing this tradition by telling his people to storm through it. Whew. That was a good theme, guys. Let's enjoy some more just soup. I had this in like my first video, I think. Texas Pete hot sauce. There you go, little baby. How lovely. Come to mama. Woo! Yes. Yes. My eyes are watering, guys. And I'm feeling alive. The theme of change versus tradition not only reflects Okonkwo's views, but also the perspective of the author Chinua Achebe. Achebe grew up in an Igbo society with Christian missionaries and European influence. He was exposed to both his native culture and Western culture. Therefore, he was caught directly between the change brought to his society by Europeans and the custom passed down by his ancestors. This is emphasized by his effort to value his mother's folk tales while spending time with his Christian father. I think my eyes are tearing out. Okay, one last ingredient, guys. Hot mama. Woo! Hot mama for hot and heavy podcasts. Ooh. She's gonna love this little ramen bath. There you go, girl. Just dunk her in there. Yes, she's getting such good treatment. Woo! Hot mama's spicy pickle. Woo! That is nasty. Okay. Woo! Hot mama. Whoa. You're not too good. Oh! She's a fake, guys. Oh! Okay. I'm alright. But it's hot. It's hot. I'll admit it. Well, this about wraps up my book talk. I really enjoyed this novel. It really opened up my eyes to not only the Igbo culture, but just like African culture in general. Like I found myself researching like other tribes in Africa and other countries afterwards, trying to figure out like similarities between the Igbo people's customs and like other ones from that time period. I think this book is truly a classic since its ideas and message can resonate with like anyone in any time period. Our world is constantly growing. However, since reading this book, I can recognize that although urbanization brings new opportunities and advances, the rich and unique traditions of indigenous societies are just as sophisticated and prosperous. And I think that's what I've learned from this novel. But anyway, thank you guys so much for sticking with me and watching all this craziness unfold. I have one final thing that I have to do. Woo! Woo! Yes. So, bye guys. Thanks for watching.